How's it going, YouTube? Let's talk a little bit about depression and some of the things that help me work through it and ultimately overcome it. Now, we're all going to have these times, moments in our lives where we're going to feel down, we're going to feel depressed. Temporary states. I'm talking about for those of you who seem to have that permanent cloud over their head. And before I say anything, I must start with a caveat. I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist. I have absolutely zero medical and academic qualifications to back up what I'm going to say. This is purely anecdotal and what worked for me and things that you may want to consider and try for yourself to see if they will help to, if not eliminate, perhaps mitigate depression in your life. Okay, so first off, I want to say that my understanding of depression is ruminating on the past, on regrets, on things you can't change, on always blaming yourself, on always feeling down, upset, angry, primarily at yourself. I mean, you project it at the world, but primarily you're really angry at yourself for your supposed misdeeds of the past or just things that happened that you wish went differently. And so you just stay there and you allow that to be the filter in which you process the world, which isn't helpful. Okay? Now look, I acknowledge that there are people that can have some chemical imbalance going on in their brain that alters their perception and way of thinking and reality. But I think for the most part, that's where depression comes from. And some of the things that helped me to get through it included, well, first and foremost, my diet. Once I stopped eating ultra-processed food, lots of sugar, lots of the nasty stuff, and getting more to a whole-based diet. Now, these days I'm a predominant carnivore. I know it's pretty full-on. Works for me. I'm not going to necessarily advocate for you unless you want to give it a try. But certainly start at a minimum by eliminating all the ultra-processed stuff. The stuff that you buy in the supermarket that's in the middle shelves. When you go to the supermarket, do your shopping around the outer perimeter. That's where you'll find most of the more natural whole foods. So start with that. Another thing is to do some exercise. Doesn't have to be anything overly strenuous or elite athlete level type of stuff. Simply walking. Walking out, getting the fresh air, getting into the sunshine, direct sunlight. For those of you living in climates where there's not much sun or it's always cloudy, infrared light is good to sit in front of for periods of time. Very, very helpful. But nonetheless, get outside, get some fresh air in your lungs. The other thing I'd recommend is looking at your sleep, improving your sleep quality. One way of improving that is to try and be more regular with your sleep. Now, if you're a shift worker, I know that makes it a bit more difficult. But for most people, if you can try to get to bed at the same time and get up at the same time, that certainly is going to help. Sleep is vital. You have no idea just how important it is. It is I believe, one of those things that's really overlooked. And then finally, connect with people. Make friendships. Form good friendship groups. Look at your peer group. See who's in your group. If you're around a lot of depressed people, guess what? You're going to be feeding off that energy and becoming more depressed. A few things for you to consider. I feel for those of you who right now are experiencing depression, especially really deep chronic depression, I hope that you guys find ways to, if not completely eliminate it, which I believe you can. I'm living proof of that. At the very least, mitigate the effects of it. All right. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, send it to a friend who you think might benefit. And as I always like to sign off with, please be nice to each other, but more importantly, be nice to yourselves. All right, see ya.